Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday. It is your favorite night of the week. Well, maybe your second favorite now that the Mike and Mish is on Thursday. I am here. I got a couple guests joining me tonight. First up on the docket is BKFC's own Brad Kelly, also my veteran guest of the evening, U.S. Army veteran in himself. Before I get going, I'm going to do a couple sponsor reads real quick, and then we'll get the show on the road. First up, as always, Massage Therafix, Holding Hands Massage. They are registered with the Department of Veteran Affairs, so go to www.holdenhands.com if you are a veteran. Talk to your provider, get a referral, go on her website and book yourself an appointment with Jackie. She does body scans, finds trigger points, relieves pain, chronic pain, back, neck, knees, feet, everything under the, she's the shit. She knows what she's doing. She's the best in the business. Go see Jackie. And of course, we got Killfoot Clothing, American-made, veteran-owned business, creators of the the Mission Accomplished first T-shirt, which are available. Go ahead and inbox me your size and the color you want, and I will get you one. They're $25 a piece, not to include shipping. We'll get a little shipping charge in there as well. But let's go ahead and get our guest of the evening up. His name is Brad Machine Gun Kelly. What's going on, sir? How are you today? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Having a little connection difficulties. This happens. No big deal. Brad, let me know if you can hear me. And he fell off. It's okay. We're going to figure this out. It happens. While he's getting that situated, let's see who's in the chat room. We got the lady herself, Audra Cummings. Hey, what's going on? Let's go. I'm so ready. I am so ready too. John Morissette, what's up as always? Joe Ivy, Susan Walker, Brad Williams, all the regulars are in the house. Let's get Brad Kelly back up in this piece. Can you hear me, Brad? What is going on? Hold on one second. Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Hey, yes.
Okay. I'm just checking. I'm going to bring him back up.
I think maybe his volume's going through his car speaker. If he's hooked up through Bluetooth, maybe that's why he can't hear you through his headset. I don't know.
Okay. I just wanted to bring you up real quick to make sure it's not my end. And
we're live.
We are live. Brad, what's going on? Can you hear me, my friend? I want to talk to the machine gun. Who wants to talk to the machine gun? Can you hear me, sir? Do you have sound? Is your Bluetooth on? What is happening? Audra, we might be pulling you up real quick. Just give it a second, folks. Technical difficulties always happen. If you could stop breaking the internet, that'd be great. Thanks. You know what? I try. The goal is to break the internet every week with this show. Let's go intronet. All right. Anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for tuning in. All right. We got Audra Cummings. We got Brad Williams. Who threw the bukkake up there in the comment of the night goes to San Juan so far, Facebook user. Thank you very much for dropping that treat of a word into the comments tonight. I see. Hello, Monica. I'm sure you'll be tuning in tomorrow night. Brad Williams is laughing. Audra is here. You know who's not here? Our man Brad. We're going to be talking to him, man, very soon. Hang in there, everybody. On top of talking to Brad tonight, we're also going to bring Mike Hunold in here tonight, and the three of us, me, Mike, and Machine Gun Kelly, are going to talk some UFC 260. We're going to react to the pay-per-view from the other night. Talk about our biggest takes, but then we're going to transition right into who is the greatest heavyweight of all time. You know, Stipe Miocic dropped his title, but that doesn't take away his clout, I don't think. Yeah. Anyways, I think we should kill a little time while we wait for Brad. I'm going to bring up Mikey. Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, tell us a joke, Mike.
I'm always ready for a chit chat.
Tell us a joke. Make us laugh, clown.
A joke? I mean, I'm not one for jokes, but I might be one for stories.
Yeah, tell us a story. Anybody want to hear a story?
Do you know what I did all weekend?
Oh, yeah, I know what you did all weekend, but you can tell everybody at home.
Jesus. So, or as Brooklyn would say, oh, jeezin'.
Oh, jeez.
So we started this project in the house that I didn't want to start. And Steph insisted that we needed to paint the hallway.
Pick me up, please. Oh, Brad just popped up in the green room and then fell back off again. I think he's having some real phone issues right now. I blame it on Audra.
Yeah, so Steph says, "Oh, we're gonna paint the hallway, the living room, the staircase, the this and the that." And I'm like, "Do you understand this is gonna take like 5 days for me to take everything down, to sand everything?" She's like, "You'll live with it."
Yeah,
I'll live with it. So I'm here all weekend painting and doing all this crazy stuff. We get into doing the walls, right? And I'm halfway. What's up?
Hold on. He's in there, and I think he can hear us now. Can you hear us? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, buddy. You're going to tell me the rest of that story in a minute. Let's see if we can get him up here. Hold up. Brad, can't. Oh, man. Hello. We are freezing. Are you there, sir? We really got to have this conversation. All right. Let me see something. I'm gonna text him. Go ahead, keep telling your story for a second.
So we get to paint in the walls, right? And we get halfway through a bucket of paint, and we're like, "Wow, this looks it looks pretty shiny." And I'm not sure what's going on with this paint, right? So my buddy Corey goes and checks. We got 4 gallons of wall paint, and he goes, "You're not gonna be too happy about this, but they gave you semi-gloss for the walls." So we got like the whole hallway done. We're about to make it out into the kitchen, and I got to go back to friggin' Lowe's to return this paint because they gave me semi-gloss for the walls. I mean, what kind of moron works at the paint shop in the friggin' Lowe's and doesn't know that you don't use semi-gloss on the walls if you're using semi-gloss on the damn trim? Anyways.
Yeah, well, you know what?
It's ridiculous.
You should have paid someone so you can get mad at them and then yell. But you can't yell at yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
screwed. I was pretty mad.
He's telling a paint story. Hold on. Let's try this one more time. Hey, Brad. Oh. All right. Let's just see here. Hang in there with me, folks. We're gonna keep this going. We're gonna try. Let me try something else. Everything is not working the way we want tonight, man. And I had a really awesome conversation to do with Brad. Brad, are you there? Okay. Mike.
Hey.
Hey, man. So I just shot Audra an invite to see if she can explain to us what the hell's going on here.
Sure.
Because Brad keeps freezing up.
I think, yeah, he's definitely, wherever he is, he's got really bad reception. And I don't know if his headphones are working with his phone. I feel like it's probably working through his car and not his headphones. If I have my headphones in, right, if I'm using my AirPods and I'm listening to something, I always know when Steph's home because my AirPods will shut off and it'll start playing in her car. So she gets whatever crazy Howard Stern bit I'm listening to ends up in the car with her and the kids. So I'm sure that's very appropriate for them to listen to.
Yeah, well, at least you're not in the bathroom with your earbuds on, taking care of some business.
I always know to shut the Bluetooth off if that's the case.
Oh man, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. Never even heard of that before.
Bluetooth. I found out this weekend that Bluetooth is named after a Viking. So if anybody knows, we found out at your house. Me and Ian looked it up. What did the name Bluetooth come from? If you want a good story, look it up. It came from a Viking. A Viking.
Was the Viking's name Blue?
It was his name was Bluetooth, and he brought together like the Danish and someone else. So it's basically means that Bluetooth is to bring together two different, things and connect them. And essentially that's what this Viking did. It brought two lands together. Yeah. See, there's Ian right there. He knows.
Ian says it's a great story.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think you guys are full of shit. Let's go. Let's go.
When are we going to get Austin Vanderford on here, huh?
I don't know, man, but his wife's been dropping some bombs lately, dude, and she should be getting a fight soon too. So
I can't wait.
She's very busy on the internet, but she's also very busy in negotiations because I'm hearing that she has an opponent. She has time, and we're gonna find it out very, very, very soon. I hope that we can get her and him on here one night. Mike and Mish with Austin and Paige.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night too, because we got Tyler Goodjohn, and then we have Britton Hart on, also a former opponent of Paige's who stole the show at Knucklemania, and we will talk to her tomorrow, and I'm sure she has an opponent coming up also. So a lot of exciting female fights in the BKFC.
Dude, way to segue, homeboy, because we're going to bring in somebody right now that's going to explain to us what's going on with Brad Kelly's phone. Audra, hello. Hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm trying to call him right now. I'm like, where are you? Like, just get over here. Go to McDonald's. Go to Walmart. Go anywhere with Wi-Fi.
Well, you know what? This is the beauty of live entertainment. And we have good people on deck that we can just call up and say, hey, what the hell's up with your dude, man?
Yeah, right. So I had a little mishap today. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but I'm actually a certified personal trainer. I don't remember if we talked about that last time or not.
We did.
I run boot camps. I do virtual groups. I meet you one-on-one. Like, whatever your needs are, I'm here to get you in shape. Like, whatever you need. I run fight camps. That's how I got started and interested in fighting. We did talk about that last time. Excuse me. So the interesting thing is I've been running these boot camps. I used to work for a guy who does boot camps. He lives in Louisiana, and he tries to set up these independent contractors in all these other little states, and he works out a little contractual agreement. Well, long story short, I completed my contract, even continued to do a little side business for him here and there, whatever. It got rocky, it got rough, it got gross, it got weird. And I was just like, you know what, dude, I think I'm like done, and I'm just kind of doing okay on my own. I got all these other little ventures going on. And he was like, okay, blocks me on Facebook. Okay, no big deal, whatever, that's your thing. And I just kept doing my thing. So pandemic came and went. Nobody really did a whole lot of big group boot camps. And this year I started back up a little bit with some camps, combining all my little small groups. And I had about 20 women show up at the park. This guy sends me a legal letter to stop doing boot camps or anything fitness related in all 82 counties in the entire state of Mississippi. Not only does he send me that letter, he shows up to my camp to like intimidate me and harass me and cause me problems and whatnot, but won't talk to me in person. Does this like 3 times, calls the cops on me because, interesting story, this is about Brad Kelly. Brad always helps me set up for boot camp. So this other guy, he's like, well, I'm going to set up a revenge camp on you, and I'm going to set up all this group of women next to your women and like 3 feet away, but he won't talk to us in person. So Brad Kelly, he's bowing up. He's getting mad. He's like, oh, you ain't doing this to Audra. He walks over to him. This is like last week, 2 weeks ago.
It was almost a scene out of Braveheart. It was about to be.
So he walks up. He's like, hey, man, we all know what you're doing. We all know what's going on here. He's like, nobody's telling you you got to leave this park. Nobody's telling you you can't have fitness too. He's like, just move your stuff over. Can you just be more than 6 inches away from Audra? And the guy won't look at him. He keeps his head down and he shoos him away. Won't look at him. He goes, this is my business. This is my business. Brad Kelly goes, yeah, well, that's Audra, and this is her boot camp, and she's my business. And the guy turns around like he's angry, like he's going to do something. He goes, and he sees Brad.
And he was like, oh, okay.
And he goes, and he turns away, and he puts his head down. Less than 30 seconds later, 5 cops are walking over to me because the police station's right there where I do my little camps.
But does Brad have like the black and blue eyes still from the fight?
This is right before the black and blue eyes. Right before he hooks up with Elvin for the black and blue eyes. But he turns around and he knows Brad's a fighter, I think, just from Facebook and whatnot. And he puts his bite stops, doesn't want to talk to Brad, turns back around, and here come 5 cops walking over. And they're like, oh, is something going on? Is there a disturbance? And we're like, no, we don't know what you're talking about. Brad walks up and he's all just like pissed, rightfully so, because this was like the 3rd time the guy had been out there to intimidate, harass, set up something separate right on top of me and my gang,
Your gang.
And long story short, this guy lives in Louisiana. We're here in Petal, Mississippi. And the cops go, what's wrong? And I tell them the story. I'm like, I don't work for this guy anymore. He's bitter. He's here for like revenge and harassment and whatnot. He's not even from here. And they go, where's he from? I was like, he's not even from Mississippi. He's from Louisiana. This dude's driving like 2 to 3 hours one way just to try to harass and intimidate me over some fitness stuff. And the cops laughed, and they look at Brad, they laugh at Brad, they laugh at me. They go, we know you. You've been here like 3 years. I'm like, I know. They're like, if you need anything, let us know. But that guy's not even, he doesn't pay taxes here. He doesn't do anything here. The best way to deal with this guy is ignore him. So anyway, fast forward, I start getting legal paperwork in the mail, and I had to deal with like attorneys today and potential, like response to this guy and what's going to happen. So Brad's like, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And I'm like, I had a long day.
Nice. Very nice. You were almost he was almost William Wallace in the name of Audra's boot camp.
Yeah, so he was totally there. He's such a good partner, training partner, best friend, life partner, do everything together. And he shows up and he's like, yo, you're not going to do this to my homegirl, And so here we are, cops and legal letters and attorneys later.
What the hell?
Outstanding. Well, you know what? Hey, guess what? I think Brad can hear me. He's in the green room. He's in the green room. He could hear me. I see him giving me the thumbs up. We're gonna go. We're gonna go ahead and get this mission accomplished going. Yeah, none of this here. We're gonna thank you for popping in, Audra. That was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. I'm gonna run this interview real quick. You can go deal with the childrens if you want, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, homie?
All right.
All right. Round 2. My guest for the evening is, that's my radio voice, everybody. I don't know if you noticed that, but that is my professional radio voice. Here he is, Mr. Brad Machine Gun Kelly. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? You can hear me, but I can't hear you. 1 second. Let's turn that mute off. We're going to get this show on the road. It was a good one, too. I can hear you. I mean, you can hear me. I can't hear you. Nothing? All right. Well, like we always talk about, man, resilience. We can't hear you, Brad. We got to hear all about air assault. We got to hear about Elvin Brito. We got to hear about Fort Benning. We got to hear about all that shit. So get somewhere where we can hear you. Are you there? Can you hear me? This is interesting. This is interesting radio. Audie K is back in the green room. She's like, I'm on deck no matter what. I got you, homie. She's in Audie K is in the green room listening to Today Was a Good Day to get her mind off of the fucking Braveheart paperwork war that she went through. Hey, doody. Yep, hold on, we're waiting. So anyways, today, while I was at work, the old 1SG says, hey, Kyle, I need you to drive to Wakefield, Rhode Island. I need you to bring Lisa with me. So one of you guys can drive my car home because I'm getting knee surgery. So you know what I do? I drive 45 minutes to Rhode Island to pick up the first sergeant. He comes out and he's like, hey, I'm good. I could drive myself home. Don't you worry about it. You guys take off. I'm like, motherfucker, I just drove 45 goddamn minutes up here in a truck that gets 12.5 miles per gallon. And no big deal. Peace out, homie. If you're watching, I love you, man. I'm just fucking around. I'll pick you up anytime you need me to pick you up. Anyways, Brad, we can't hear you. 90% of communication is nonverbal. Show must go on. I hear you. You sons of bitches. Watch this. We're going to make this a 4-way real quick. Ba-boom, ba-boom, boom. Let's see how long it takes for Brad to come on.
He's walking around now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's walking
around. He's like at your house. Is he going to walk through that door behind you in a second?
Is he here? Maybe.
Maybe.
I might recognize those trees behind him.
Dude, yeah. if he busts through that door behind you right now, I'll laugh my ass off.
It's happening. He's here. That's my wall.
That's you.
There he is.
All right.
Look at him. It's funny. He's still on the screen.
All right. So, okay. So I'm kick. I'm kicking Brad off. All right. And Mike, you want me to go ahead and run this interview real quick? And finally, we can get this show. Oh, there's another person. We got a whole party going on up in here. Hey. Where's the entry music? Wow. All right. Mike, we'll see you.
I almost parked inside McDonald's and Lowe's. I'm not even kidding. Their Wi-Fi sucked.
All right, man. So thanks for stopping in, Audra. That was very nice of you. We'll talk to you later. All right, Brad Kelly, what is going on? That was a challenge, but you know what? We all showed resilience, didn't we? We made it through.
Yeah.
We soldiered through. All right, man. So for everybody that's watching, if anybody that's watching, you all know this guy. He is the 165er for the BKFC. Just came off of a really tough fight with Elvin Brito at BKFC 16. Put your record at 1-1, but damn, that was a tough fight, man.
Yeah.
We got to get right into that. You had so hold up before we get into BKFC. I wanted to talk about you. You started off. You were in the Army. Were you training as a fighter while you were in the Army?
Yeah, when I got out of basic training, I had a buddy that wanted to go down to the coast and try MMA gym with John Dixon.
Yep.
And we went down there, tried it out. I loved it. He kind of fell off of it, and I've been doing it ever since. Since about 2008, and had my first MMA fight 6 months after I started training. So I beat a guy that was 7-2.
Nice. Now, when you started training, what style did you start training in? Was it Muay Thai? Was it boxing?
Yeah, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, all of it. They're really good fight camp.
It was just a straight up mixed martial arts gym.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. So, what made you transition over from the MMA to BKFC?
Well, I mean, I tell everybody that asks me that, like, it's about the publicity. I've been fighting for a long time, stuck in Mississippi fighting my whole fight career, and wasn't ever getting anywhere. I fought Brandon Davis my last MMA fight, and it didn't open up any doors. I had a really good fight with him, so I figured it would open up something, but it didn't. He's trying to get back to the UFC, and everybody's just like, you know what? Why don't you just try bare knuckles? So here I am, 1-1.
Here you are, 1-1. You had a hell of a performance against Kane Tomlinson back in December.
Yeah,
that was a good scrap for a full round, and then you rocked him right there at the end. And
yeah, Kane's a man. He's a man.
Yeah,
that dude's tough.
You know what? And he's got that old man strength, I think. You know what I mean? That's a real thing. And people that want to question that, they can fucking step to your dad one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'll find out about old man.
Yeah, that dude, man. He turned that into a dog fight. Like, he made it a dog fight. Had to. You have some technical fights, some brawls, and then sometimes you just got to bear down and fight. I felt like I was in a parking lot with that guy.
Hell yeah. Now, so you went on from Kane to Elvin. Now, Elvin, man, we got to talk about this guy. He, how did you prepare for Elvin Brito? Because when you got in there, like the wild angles that he comes at, the keeping his hands down, he almost stands like completely square with you at times, like dead on straight. His hands are down, like he's constantly.
And then he turns and shifts, and it hides his right hand, and you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, he pulled he pulled like one of the slickest like shoulder roll dip left hands
in the third round.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Elvin's tough. I like him. He's a tough dude. Good guy.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys were pretty tight through the first 2 rounds. You got like the more of the traditional boxing style compared to Elvin. Obviously, you got the high and tight guard, and like you were the aggressor the entire fight. You were moving forward the whole fight. He was content to being defensive the entire time. It's just like no matter how much you hit him, it didn't seem like he marks up at all. And
I wasn't hitting the eyes. I was hitting the chin and the jawline.
Yeah.
He told me the next day it was hard for him to eat.
Oh, was it?
He said his jaw wasn't happy with him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, my hands didn't swell up from hitting the air. Everybody, he does have slick boxing, slick head movement and this and that, but I was still touching him.
Yeah. And when he was hitting you too, he just hits you wherever he can land a punch. Like, he was hitting you in like the shoulder and the arm. You know what I mean? Like, he just take a wild.
A lot of my defense is elbows, parries, and stuff like that. And like a buddy of mine, John, was talking about the other day, Elvin throws real wide and, overhand rights and overhand lefts and stuff like that. So when he does land, even though it may not have the full impact on me, it looks like he's doing like big damage. And he did cut me up. It's bare knuckle. You're going to get cut up.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, my striking is real tight and quick.
Yeah.
And when he would throw punches at me, I would parry. He might throw a 2-3 piece combo. I would interrupt I would break the rhythm of it and counter him right back. And that's why I started throwing shots in the third and fourth round. You know.
Yeah, in the fourth round. In the fourth round, you caught him with a couple really good flurries, man. You had him up against the ropes at one point, and you were peppering him, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Combo, yeah,
the 8-piece,
the 8-piece combo, man. But that's the thing. Like my first fight with Kane, this is why this fight stings so bad, because I really feel like I could beat Elvin, even though I'm not taking anything away from his win. I'll never take anything away from him, but I feel like I am a better striker. Now, with that said, my first fight with Kane was a brawl, kind of. And the only clip that Bare Knuckle put out was with him when we got in a clinch for like 10 seconds and he like beat my ear to pieces.
When you were on like a hockey fight at that point, you were like Don Fry. What was his name? It was Don Fry. What was the big Asian dude? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember either. But hearing everybody say that I was just a brawler and no technique, man, that put like a stain on my soul. So I was just like, you know what? My next fight, I'm gonna show people I have good technique, you know. And this fight with Elvin, I was more worried about showing people I was a technical fighter than actually going in for the kill, you know. In the fourth round, when I put that 8-punch combo on him, man, like that's how I normally fight in the gym. Like I'm in, throw 4 or 5 punches, break the rhythm of people, and get back out. And I'm good with that. But this fight, man, I just didn't want to get into a brawl.
Right. And you know, it was in the comments, all 3 judges judged the fight differently. That's right. And that was a really tough fight to judge, because even though he won unanimous, right? It was not that close. I mean, it was not. It was very close. It was not a wash for sure. And when I rewatched it, when I booked you to come on, you know, I'm going to rewatch all your fights again. And I rewatched it and I was like, God damn, man, this fight was way fucking closer than I remembered. It was like you had the damage. I mean, you had visible damage. And I wonder if that's why the judges swayed towards Elvin more, but it wasn't like he was washing 100%. You out of there for sure.
No, I walked forward. If you look, man, I cut the ring off perfectly with him, you know. And like I said, my first fight, I also had a broken rib. You know, the first 20 seconds of the fight, I broke my rib. And this fight, I don't know. I know Elvis' coaches told him, you know, hey, he's got a hurt rib. But that's the first thing he cracked, man, like right off the bat. So I felt it like shift again. I'm like, man, not again. Well, he caught me 4 different times in that same body shot. And I was just like, in the 5th round, I couldn't take another body shot. I was like, man, I cannot take another body shot. So it kind of took a little bit of my cardio, kind of made me hesitant on letting my punches go, and I didn't want to get into a brawl, you know. But
yeah, did you have any? You had a lot of swelling around your eyes after the fight. There was nothing broken, like no, or nothing bad.
No, I'm fine. I'm ready to go right now. Just my ribs are a little tender, but other than that, I'm good to go.
Hands are good.
yeah, my hands are good. Yeah, my hands are good. That one knuckle right here on my left hand's kind of tender because he dipped his head and I come down at an angle and kind of shifted it back a little bit, but it's fine. Nothing I can't handle.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm asking that, like, BKFC's busy, man. They got a lot of events coming up. They got a big one in Birmingham, Alabama on April 30th. I'm assuming you're not getting on that one, but what about May? What about May 21st down in Miami? If they gave you a phone call, would you be down for that, or is that too soon?
Yeah, of course. No, I would, man. I would take that in a minute. I'm not going to turn down a fight. Like, I don't care if I do have an injury. I fought with my rib hurting this fight. You know, I knew it was going to get damaged, but I didn't care. You know, I'm here to make a statement, man. I'm not here to sit on the sidelines and be a bottom feeder.
Hell yeah.
You know, we had 5 rounds with their number 1, you know, in the world or whatever. So I feel like I can compete with anybody in the top 5. You know.
And now BKFC's probably going to book Elvin and Caleb Harris right now, right? Because Joe Elmore's out with the hand injury. Do you have somebody in mind that you would like to fight? I know you would like a rematch with Elvin because that was such a close fight and it was exciting and it was a great fight. But Elvin, Yeah, he did get himself in a position for a title shot, though. You know, circumstances with the way the division is built. Anybody else in there strike interest?
Let's see who else is in the 165 that I know is Joey Elmore. Leonard's retired. Elvin's gonna fight Kalo. Who else is 165?
Well, you know what? Let me pull up the rankings real quick. Why not? I got a computer right here in front of me.
Not disrespecting anybody, you know. I can't think of everybody's name that's in there on the roster. I had Paul Tyler talking to me about a guy. I can't say his name, but he is from the UFC, and he was talking about doing a bare knuckle debut, and I would love to take that fight, but I'm not gonna expose that right now.
All right. Well, you're not going to expose anything, but I'll throw some names out there from the UFC. There is a fellow veteran that just posted something. I don't know. He'd be a little bit out of your weight range, I think. Tim Kennedy. Hell, yeah. Fucking yeah, dude. Tim, what a boss that dude is. I know you guys would welcome him with open arms, but he'd be probably 195, 205 at this point.
Yeah, he's a stout dude.
And then you got old T Wood, you know, I'll beat your ass rapper.
That's that money fight though, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Being that I just come off of a loss, like I don't think they're gonna throw me a big money fight, but not everybody's gonna be chomping at the bit to fight Tyron Woodley or Tim Kennedy or this other guy that's coming in supposedly. I will.
You know who's got a final fight coming up in the UFC that would probably come over, and I don't know what you and Paul were talking about or whatever, but Diego Sanchez is about to fight. He's about to fight his final fight in the UFC against Donald Cerrone. I would love to see Diego Sanchez go into the BKFC, even though like he probably shouldn't be at this point in his life. He's probably had about 75 fights. I don't know, but I'd watch that.
Yeah. I would take any of those fights. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna sit here and just talk crap, you know, and say, "Oh, I'll fight that guy." I would really fight those guys, just because I feel like my striking is on a, you know, just as good, you know, just as good as any of them. I was just reading Brock Weaver just got cut.
Joe Ivy says, "Blink twice if it's Brock."
Hey, I've sparred Brock a lot, you know. He's got the hands.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm telling you, the BKFC is the next big thing. And this proves it. Like when people see that UFC fighters are leaving the UFC, they're not talking about them going to Bellator anymore. They're not talking about PFL. They're not talking about they're not talking about one championship. They're like, I wonder if they'll sign with BKFC. You know what I mean? It's almost automatic now.
And as long as that money is right, you know, they're going to. And you got to think, a lot of those guys, they don't have to worry about takedowns and knees and elbows and stuff like that. So, hey.
Yeah.
Welcome to it.
Well, I love it, man. Hey, so anyways, I also have you here as my veteran guest of the evening because Mission Accomplished is where combat sports meets combat vets. And I love the fact that you are an 11 bang bang U.S. Army veteran. Thank you for your service. And let's talk about that for a little bit. Let me throw your career up there. 6 years, 11 Bravo. You were in Balad. What were you doing for missions out in Iraq?
It's just peacekeeping stuff, man. Like it wasn't nothing. It wasn't like the shit hit the fan. You know what I mean? In 2003, stuff like that. But
what year were you there?
2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
But they still test your ass over there. Don't
Hell yeah, man. Dude, anytime over there, time away from your family and your friends and your loved ones. I mean, even if it's peacekeeping, even if you're in like a green zone somewhere, guess what? You're still in the fucking Middle East in the hot, nasty ass weather, away from everybody you love. And, you know, you just go out there, you do your job, you get paid, and you come home. I have an opportunity to deploy pretty soon, not soon, but like within the next year. And I initially like threw my name in the hat I like volunteered to go as the first sergeant. And now Yeah, and now I'm like, I started this show during the pandemic, and it's starting to pick up, and like I'm having way too much fun with this shit. And opportunities are opening here and there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pull my name out of that hat. If
Yeah.
you know, if you
About
tell me,
face, man. About face.
hell yeah, man. My sister's actually in the comments. He says where we stationed. You were in Balad,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. In Iraq. Yeah.
in Balad, Iraq, and so you said you used to take care of the 50 cals. That's funny
Yeah.
because the last couple years, my Mike and Mish, dude, the Mike and Mish show ran the 50 cal range for our unit for the last couple of years. So
I love that sound, man. I love that 50 cal sound.
hell yeah, that's great, dude. And air assault. Tell me about air assault school.
That's the hardest 12 days of my military career, I think.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, 75 people found out on the first day on the Ranger course. And I actually had a girl I was dating at the time. She had it was her cousin or something like that. Man, he thought so much crap about me. He's like, man, Brad ain't built like me. He ain't going to make it. He was one of the first ones that failed out. And I
Yeah.
made it all the way through, you know. So it was good to rub that in his face a little bit.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I went a different route when I went into the military. I went in and I took the logistics, transportation, supply route in my career. And the reason why I did that, and I always regret, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. So my brother was I don't know if you saw the episode, my brother on here. My brother was a range, yeah, he was a range airborne air assault ranger sniper. He was like the fucking super soldier. And I went
G.I.
down
Joe, man.
yeah, I went down to the recruiter. I was like, Ryan, man, guess what? I went to the recruiter today. I'm going to do the same shit. I'm going in as infantry and I'm going to go active duty and do everything that you do. He's like, fucking go back tomorrow and tell him that you're not doing any of this shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I'm like, what? He goes, no. You don't need to do this. He's like, stay home. Yeah. He's like, go National Guard, fucking go to college. And
Well, see, that's what I actually did. Like, it's a long story with my military. It actually saved me from going down the wrong path.
yeah.
And I had an authority problem, and I was getting in trouble, man. Didn't listen to, couldn't nobody tell me anything. And my stepmom, she told me, she said, you wouldn't make it 2 weeks in the military. You'd be in Fort Leavenworth. And I was just like, is that a challenge? Like, you guys tell me I can't make it in the military? So that next Monday, I went and signed up, you know, and I went National Guard because I didn't want to just, because of my authority problem, I just was like, you know what, let me just test drive the Army, see if I can like it, you know. And I ended up loving it. I graduated second out of 255 people out of my class, you know, to be soldier of the cycle or whatever. So
Yeah.
I just don't ever quit, man. Like I just put my mind in a different place and I just keep pushing forward. I went in at weighing 216, come out weighing 170. And every run that we went on, I was up there by the drill sergeant every time, just because everybody would run off and leave.
You were a big boy. You were a big boy when you went in there then.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, man. I'm a bad kid inside me, dude. Yeah, I love to eat.
You know what, dude? No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, after my dad passed away, I was going through like a bad time in my life, and after he passed away, like I went to driving trucks because I didn't have any other work going on. I got laid off from the oil field, so I went to a truck driving school on the coast. Went to driving trucks for 6 months. My dad passed away. I blew up to 246 pounds.
Damn.
And yeah, man, I was bad off. And this fight opportunity come up. I got beat by a guy, Robert Dunn. I got beat by him twice, once as an amateur and once as a pro. And I wanted to get back in shape. But, you know, I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I was just like, man, you're better than this. You know, it's not you. This ain't you. Like, change something. So I was like, hey, I want to take another fight. And my coach was like, oh, all right, you know, we'll look around. Well, Robert Dunn wanted another fight with me. And I asked Eric, I was like, hey, what about Robert Dunn? He said, man, that's a tough fight for you to come back after a year and a half, 2 years, you know, and you're 246 pounds now. And he said, whatever you decide to do, I'll back you. And I was like,
so you fought at heavyweight? This was at heavyweight then, or did you have to cut 50 pounds or something?
cut 50 pounds, man. I cut to 170 for that fight.
Jeez.
Cut
How
to
did you
170.
how'd you feel after cutting all that weight?
Oh, I felt like crap, really. actually, it wasn't Robert Dunn. It was Lewis Sims at 170, and then I fought Robert Dunn at 155, like 2 months later. And I
Holy
beat
crap, man.
Yeah. Lewis Sims, he was like 0-25, man. He had like a horrible record, but he was a beast. He's curling like 90-pound dumbbells. So I was just like, man, I don't want to be the first guy to lose to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, I ended up leg kicking him in the first round and winning. And then me and Robert Dunn hooked it up again, and I got my vengeance. Got my,
Dude, what was the fucking dude? You watched the Major Leagues, the Major League movies? You remember the Major League and Major League 2?
I hadn't seen that.
No. It's a baseball movie. In the second movie, Charlie Sheen gave up a home run to this dude. He's like, man, I gave up a home run. He's like, she's like, yeah, but he was due. He hadn't hit a home run in his entire career, 14 years. And it'd been like like if you actually lost to that guy after being 0-25, people would have been like, dude, Brad, it's not that big of a deal. He was due.
Dude, I'd have quit fighting. I would have quit fighting though. I would have. That was the most pressure I've ever had on me in a fight. I was like, man, that's a big dude. If he just lands something.
Jesus. Yeah. And you went down to 155, huh?
Yeah, my whole fight career I've been at 155.
And now at BKFC, you're just sticking around 165. That's the.
I'll be back down to 155.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna fluctuate a little bit.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the roster is so small because it's so new. BKFC's getting off the ground, and they're just building their roster up. There's really interesting fights at 155, 165, and 175 if you wanted to go up to 175, and I'm sure you would do that. You don't seem like the guy that would turn that away.
No, man. If the money's right and they call me to fight, I'm gonna fight. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go fight Josh Burns or anybody, but
right. Yeah, man. Josh, I'm going to be talking with him next Wednesday. Josh Burns is coming on. Actually, I'm having him and Elvin on next Wednesday, so that'll be a good show. Yeah, and for just since it's fresh on my mind for everybody that's watching right now, next Wednesday I'm doing a show with those two, and then me and Mike are not doing a show on Wednesday because I'm going to Disney World with my kids, but they don't know yet. So
it's a fun place, man. It's a fun place.
All right. Hey, you want to do a speed round? You've seen the speed round. You know what we do over here. We do a series of wild ass questions, and we'll see if we can get to know you a little better. Even though it says Audie K on the screen there, we all know who Brad Kelly is. Machine Gun Kelly. Here we go. Speed round with Brad Machine Gun Kelly of the BKFC. Number 1. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or in a coma for 10?
Jail for 5 years. You can learn a lot of tricky stuff in jail, man. You can learn what you didn't learn in the military, you'll learn in jail.
Yeah, I was going to say you did 6 years in the military and you deployed. You do fine in jail. All right. This one's funny. I don't even know if you're going to answer it. Who is the most overrated fighter in the BKFC right now?
Oh my God, dude. No. I have no idea. I do not want to say anybody's name. Do I have to say that?
Come on, man. Throw one out there.
Overrated. Oh, shit. No, man. I don't want to say nobody's name.
All right. We'll give you.
I'm overrated. I'm the most overrated fighter.
I was hoping that would lead to some beef over here. Look at me trying to stir the pot. Would you rather have a third nipple or an extra toe?
Probably an extra toe, man. More stable. I won't fall over as much.
I guess it would really depend on where on your body the extra nipple goes. You know what I mean? If it's on your neck, that'd be like, what the fuck? No way. Give me that toe.
Yeah.
Favorite MRE?
Oh man, Chili Mac. Love the Chili Mac.
Chili Mac is the go-to, and it really is.
The little hua bars, I got sick of them though. And you know which ones I'm talking about? The little hua bars.
Yeah. You know, my brother at this point in his life, he is 42 or 43. He's been out of the military for a while. He runs he's a site supervisor on a construction site. Now just picture Frank Castle, the Punisher, on the construction site eating his MREs. My bro, every time we go do some training and I get like extra MREs or whatever, I save them all and I bring them. My brother eats an MRE every single day. As a civilian, he just fucking loves them, man. He'll eat any of them.
Yeah, once you get in that mindset, man, you know, you pick out something, your niche in the military, you pick it out and you stick with it.
Yeah,
but I love MREs.
Yeah, you know what, they keep you.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, I follow this guy on YouTube, Corporal's Corner. He was a corporal in the Marine Corps, and he like does all this, you know, bougie shit in the military, staying out in the woods every week. Every week he'll do like overnight, and he'll build his own little like, you know, fort or whatever in the woods. So I like doing stuff like that too.
Yeah,
about to start doing more of it. Then, you know, being in the summertime, I'm gonna start getting off in the woods too.
Right, and you know what? And if you're into like bodybuilding or getting fucking, you know, beefed up, you know, two or three MREs a day would really boost your calorie count up.
Yeah, a lot of protein, man.
Hell yeah. Calories. All right, you have to pick one of the following movies. Which one are you watching? Wedding Crashers, Step Brothers, Old School, or Superbad?
Step Brothers. These dudes make me laugh, man. I love those guys. Love Will Ferrell.
One of the best ever.
Yeah.
If you could have any historical figure over for dinner, who you having over and why?
Oh man, George Washington.
George Washington. You gonna ask him about his wooden teeth?
Yeah, man. We got the same birthday. You know, he did some cool stuff. He was a sneaky fella, man. He was a sneaky guy. He was good. He had a good strategy when it come to war.
Hell yeah, good answer. And you got the same birthday as him, for real?
Yeah, February 22nd.
Jesus, you got a way cooler birthday than me. You know, I got the same birthday as Beyonce Knowles. I want to fucking jump out of a window every time I think of it.
I like George Washington, man. He was good. He had a good strategy when it come to winning wars and stuff. Getting out of a hot spot. He was good under pressure.
I was thinking like maybe Muhammad Ali in his prime would be a good one too. Like that guy would have a lot to say. Hell yeah.
Yeah, related.
Yeah. Finish this sentence, Brad. The world would be a better place if
people quit being so damn fake. Just be real. Yeah, man. Get off the phones. Get off the internet.
I thought about this every time I write these questions, I think about what I would say, and you know what popped into my head? A purge. If we had a purge.
Yeah. That would definitely lower the body count.
The world would be a better place if we could have a purge. Let's move on from that one. All right. If you're okay in a movie about your life, who's playing you and who's playing your girl?
Probably either Mark Wahlberg.
Good answer.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. I like Mark Wahlberg. He's my favorite military like actor. He plays good, you know. What was the other question?
Yeah, who would play your woman?
Audra.
There you go. You're giving her an opportunity to play herself opposite Mark Wahlberg.
It's hard because can't nobody play her better than her.
Yeah, that's great. And you know what? Joe Ivy says that was an awesome answer to the Mark Wahlberg thing. And she also said, oh no, Brad Williams said the world would be better if there was more bathrooms.
Because people's full of shit. That's why.
All right. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Sitting at a red light when it's green.
Oh, dude. You ain't shitting.
Dude, I will lose my mind. And it's just like you got 50 cars behind you. You're up front. But you go sit there and take 10 seconds to start off.
Dude, yesterday I was at a light where there was 3 spots. So there was 2 here and then 1 on the left. I was taking a left. We had a green arrow.
Yeah.
The other 2 were red. We had a green arrow and the opposite had the arrow. So like the 2 sides can go. The fucking person in front, they're just sitting there and I'm holding my horn down and they're going like this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
what do you do? Oh, you're right. I was like, this is why.
I would get in a confrontation quick over red light. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. My wife's in there. She says Kyle too. He screams at cars, dude. And I got young kids. I got a 6 and a 9-year-old. But like over the last few years, like we're in their car, and I'll be. Audra says he can't stand slurping or loud chewing. I thought you were gonna say Audra's Facebook stories.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Okay, so she just does it randomly. It's like I'll wake up. I don't even know where I'm at sometimes, and she'll just throw a camera in my face and like, "Hey, smile." And I'm like, what? Right now? Like, let me get ready. You know?
Yeah. Dude, what I was saying about the car thing, my son is just he's just a hot little like he's a sharp little bastard, and he takes any opportunity to like swear whenever he can. And if I'm like this, I'll like something happen, I'll be like, this asshole. Oh, why is he an asshole? I'll be like, hey, why don't you keep it down in the back there? He's like, I don't know. Well, why is he an asshole? I'm like, because he's an asshole. That's why.
Yeah, like Roger's little boy CJ, he's like that. He'll throw some cuss words out quick too.
My little boy last week though, he did the British accent, and like he was like, "Hey, would you look at that crane over there? Why the hell is he doing that?" And I was like, "Hey, watch your mouth." He goes, "British accent, Dad." You know,
Yeah.
it was the British accent.
Rolls
All right.
off.
Yeah, rolls off the tongue better. All right, last question. What was the first thing you did when you woke up this morning?
This morning?
Yep.
Went and had coffee with Audra.
There you go. I farted.
Well, I probably did that in my sleep.
All right, dude. That was the speed round with Machine Gun Kelly. You want to talk a little UFC real quick? We'll bring Mike in here. We'll do some fucking round table.
Sure.
All right, man. Hold up 1 second. Michael Hunold, what is going on, my friend?
What's up?
The other half of the Mike and Mish show.
When you wake up, you remember Ford Fairlane? Do you remember that movie, Ford Fairlane?
Yeah.
He wakes up and he's got two twins in his bed, two chicks on each side, and he wakes up and he goes, "Do my dishes." That's the first thing he says as soon as he wakes up.
I was in bed with a couple of Swedish meatballs.
Oh,
Have
you seen that?
I have not.
It's Andrew Dice Clay. It was like his one major motion picture.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Do
stupid.
my dishes. Yeah,
I was just over here smiling, nodding my head like I knew what y'all were talking about.
No, it's fucking hilarious, man. All right, so fellas, man, this past weekend, UFC had UFC 260. We had the changing of the guard in the heavyweight division. Stipe Miocic, widely considered one of the greatest of all time, lost to Francis Ngannou. Tyron Woodley lost in a dogfight to Vicente Luque, and a few other things. Did you guys watch the event?
I did not.
You did not. All right. Well, then we'll breeze right. You watched it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Mike, what was your biggest takeaway from this card? Was it the Ngannou thing? Was it Sean O'Malley? What was it to you?
Well, there was basically three things that you said, right? It was the Ngannou taking the heavyweight strap. Ngannou looked fantastic. He's obviously been working on his takedown defense, which is very scary to the rest of the people in the division. Because if you're going to take him down and you're going to wear him out, if you can't do that, this guy is a beast. He's got freight trains for fists. So he may be a contender for a long time. I mean, he may be a champion, I should say, for a long time. And then also we have Tyron Woodley. Sad to say, but I think his time is now over. But like you guys were just talking about, I think, did you guys touch on that? The Tyron Woodley might be coming over. So that would be awesome. Can't wait to see if that's a thing.
I wonder if he's going to fight at 75 instead of 65. You know, he's a big guy too, but I don't know if he'd cut down to 65.
I think that he cuts from like right around 200 pounds down to 170 when he fights. So yeah. at 38 years old, or 38, 39, I'm 39. And if you told me, hey, Kyle, I walk around 200 pounds. So they were like, hey, Kyle, we got this fight at 170 or 165, but we also have this guy at 175. I'd be like, dude, give me that 175er all day. all day, baby.
Take them
Well,
out.
Yeah, well, to me, like you said, Francis Ngannou is one of the scariest people on the planet. He's got muscles on top of muscles. He has takedown defense now. We don't know how great it is. He only had to stop one takedown, but he did it, and he made it look easy. And he destroyed, the consensus GOAT. So that, and the only thing other than Tyron Woodley finishing his career over there, I was getting very annoyed with Sean O'Malley's turnaround and walk the Brad, how do you feel about these fighters knocking someone down and then turning around and walking away in like a walk off when the referee doesn't stop it? That shit drives me crazy. Like, you're taught to fight until the referee stops,
Yeah, you got to go in for that kill, man, every time. I just saw the highlight of that. I saw he knocked him down with a straight left, and I thought he jumped on him and hit him one more time, and then the ref stepped in. But did he try to walk off before he hit him in the last time? Twice? Oh, wow.
He did it 2 times. And I'm like, dude, just finish the damn fight. What are you doing? And at the second time he did it, like, he ended it when the referee was like, it's not over. That bomb he dropped. Oh boy, that was
maybe he was trying to shut some haters up on him, man. Maybe he was like letting the guy back up, to showboat a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, in the first round, he knocked Almeida down against the fence, and he could have followed it up with a couple of punches and just ended it there. But he tried to walk off, and the ref was like, "Hey, fight's still going." So Almeida got back to his feet, ended up going to 3 rounds. He still knocked him out, but he almost did it again.
Yeah.
He's looking for that highlight,
the last thing. Yeah, the Mark-on walk-off. Everybody wants a Mark-on walk-off in their career. The only other thing, we're going to talk about GOATs real quick. Alonzo Manafield won by Von Flue, which doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? We got a big shout out to that one.
And I have one shout out, and it's to a Mission Accomplished alumni, actually, Miranda Maverick, with her victory over Jillian Robertson. She's been on the show before, so big shout out to her. Fantastic win.
Yeah. All right, man. So now with the changing of the guard over at the heavyweight division in the UFC, it drummed up a lot of conversations the last couple of days. Who is the greatest heavyweight of all time? Top 5. Maybe we don't want to do the top 5, but who's your We'll start with Mike.
I got my top
let
5.
Brad go first. Let's go, Mike. What's your top 5, Mike?
My top 5, without mentioning anything, I'll go number 5, Fedor Emelianenko. Number 4, Fabricio Verdum. Number 3, Daniel Cormier. Number 2, Randy Couture. And number 1, Stipe Miocic. So
Fedor was what?
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay.
Yes. I think Fedor should have been number 1.
So you had Fedor.
I have an argument for this.
Okay. We understand you had Stipe at number 1. There's his accolades: 20-4, defended the title 4 times. Notable wins. Check out his notable wins: Daniel Cormier twice, Francis Ngannou, JDS, Overeem, Verdum. He beat, 3 other guys that were on your list. And then you had who at number 2? Oh, Randy Couture, the natural.
Yeah,
Randy Couture. He 3-time heavyweight champ, 2-time light heavyweight champ, beat Mark Coleman, Pedro Hizo twice.
Yep.
Okay. Your
number main events, first multi-division champ.
Your number 3 was Kane. Who was number 3?
Daniel Cormier.
Okay. And number 4 was who?
Fabricio Verdum.
Okay. And now explain to us how Fedor Emelianenko lands at number 5 on your list.
I don't think that he fought great competition in his career. He's got 31 fights of a bunch of people who were not that great. I feel like his best fights are what? Crow Cop. And he won by decision, but
Big Nog.
I feel like he's like the most overrated heavyweight fighter of all time.
I
know a guy right now.
I really do.
I know a guy right now from Australia is going to
he's losing his mind. He fought I get it was early, and he does have some notable wins here. But I was talking about this with Kyle earlier. Like, when we talk about best of all time, is it best if they all were to fight today, or is it best at their time of fighting, you know, or is it the biggest impact that they made? So I think I kind of, it was hard for me to figure it out because I feel like there's 3 different ways that you could set this up. So for Fedor, I put him at 5 because he did make a big impact, but I feel like if he was to fight people today, he would just not do as well. I think he would get smashed. I do.
Well, dude, if you think about, like, honestly, Fedor fought most of his fights at about 230 pounds, right? 232, 233, 234. He was never really a really big heavyweight.
He's tiny.
These heavyweights nowadays are fucking monsters.
Yeah.
Like Derek Lewis and Cyril Gane and fucking Francis Ngannou. Those guys are mountains. And I don't know if that would like circle all the way into like there needs to be more weight classes. Like, can you imagine if there was a 205, a 215, a 225, and a heavyweight? Like a 225 weight class would be fucking outstanding. But I can't believe you had Fedor number 5. That's crazy. I like it.
I've never been too impressed. Like, I'm impressed. I'm talking about impressed as comparing him to other great people, fighters. Like, I feel like he just would not stand the test between, especially if he fought now. I mean, look at Verdum. Verdum beat him when he fought. Who else did he lose to right after that? He lost a lot of fights in a row. Every time he fought someone good, he lost.
Antonio Bigfoot Silva beat him, correct?
Yep.
I don't know about
Bigfoot Silva beat him. He would have lost against Frank Mir. He got lucky as all hell. I mean, that's the end of his career, so I don't really count those too much. But he fought in pride.
Didn't Frank Mir knock him out? Fedor?
No. Frank Mir didn't knock him out. He beat Frank Mir. Yeah, he almost did.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you a story, just a real quick one about Fedor. So when I was deployed 0809, we were staying in those concrete buildings. They were called what the hell are those buildings called, Mike? PCBs, the permanent concrete buildings or whatever. Anyways, so I'm in there, and like to watch these events, it's always like 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. It's in the pitch black in the barracks, and like everybody's sleeping at the time. And it was during the Affliction event that Andrei Arlovsky fought Fedor Emelianenko, and that was a big deal because Andrei Arlovsky at the time was like the top of the heap. Other than Fedor, he was like, you know, just coming out of the UFC. He signed a contract with Affliction, and I want to say that was like a one and done for Affliction. They didn't have another event ever after that. It was like a one-time thing. But I'm up in my rack with this little ass TV with the sound off, and I'm like watching, and Fedor got Andrei Arlovsky in the corner, and Andre tried to like jump up, and Fedor hit him with that overhand right and took him out of the air, just folded his ass. I was like the loudest. It was the loudest silent screaming person you've ever seen in your entire life. I was going fucking nuts. Yeah. I was like,
he does have some great highlights. If you watch the highlights, the Kazuyuki Fujita fight, you know, the guy with the blonde hair, the Asian who's a little bit taller than him, that almost knocked him out, and he was like all wobbly. That was a good fight. But I think a lot of the fights that he had were just like, who are these guys? He's had like, you know, out of 31 fights, he had like 2 or 3 notable fights. So he's like, yeah, you're 31-0 or 31-1. But he fought like in pride against people that.
All right, let's give Brad a chance. Let's give Brad a chance. I know you didn't have much time to prepare for this, but who's your?
I'm not like a big heavyweight fan, so I don't have like a one that's, I don't know, a list of all-time greats. But some of my favorite ones, top to bottom, are number 5 is Randy Couture, 4 Cormier, Stipe, Cain Velasquez is probably at the top of the food chain with heavyweights.
For 2,
you know,
number 2.
Number 1, yeah. I say Fedor's number 1. I just like Fedor. He's a stone cold killer, man, in my opinion. He don't talk shit. He comes out there with a stone cold face, knocks people out, collects his check, and goes home. You know,
he really is.
People 31 times or not, man, he knocked people out and took a check and went home.
Now you have Cain Velasquez at number 2. I can't do that because of the lack of activity, and I guess like, am I a dickhead for saying that he wasn't healthy enough ever?
Well, he wasn't healthy, but the talent he had, man, like if his body would have held up, he'd have been unstoppable. You know how he did what's his name? Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
like he just like, and that dude was a freight train, you know, he just beat him up. And he had some of the quickest hands, you know, he had the hands of a light heavyweight, you know, or a small middleweight. He was quick and he had power. But
And they called him Cardio Kane for a reason. But you know what? Then he went down to Mexico City and he fought Fabricio Verdum, and Cardio Kane didn't show up. He didn't take the elevation into account. He got smoked.
That did hurt my feelings, man, when Fabricio beat him.
Yeah. So Kane was 14-3 in his career. He did have a great short career. 14-3, won the heavyweight title twice, defended it twice. Brock Lesnar, Bigfoot Silva twice, JDS twice, Big Nog, Czech Congo, Travis Brown. Those are some of the 14 out of the 14. Those are like the most notable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can tell you who mine was. My number 5. You guys are going to hate me on this, dude. Number 5 is Alistair Overeem for me. I fucking love Alistair Overeem. He look at his resume. Mark Hunt twice, Verdum twice, JDS, Frank Mir, Gary Goodrich, Sergey Karatanov, Brock Lesnar. He won the Strikeforce title. He won titles in Pride. He won K1 kick. Like that fucking dude. The only thing he didn't win was a UFC title, and I don't know what the hell. He just could never get it.
He got off the steroids, man.
Yeah, he got off that horse meat. Yeah.
when he first got into the UFC, man, that dude was a giant. He was like a V-shaped dude, you know.
Yeah, his shoulders are out to. There's that funny picture of Ariane Celeste standing behind him, like looking at him, like, what the fuck am I looking at? Yeah, that's hilarious. But
dad by pretty quick though after he got off of that.
But you know what? You're right, but he's still winning fights. Like up until even recently, he's still winning fights. And like even like his loss against Jairzinho Rosenstruck, he won 97% of that. 99% of that fight. But Rosenstruck hit him with a fucking bomb in the last 5 seconds that blew his lip up and knocked him. Nasty. And they 10 stopped.
Seconds.
Yeah, and Alistair would have finished the fight if they didn't stop it right there. Like he wanted to finish that fight, but his lip was hanging open. It was just bad. My number 4 is Fabricio Verdum for the same reasons like Mike said. Look at his record, man. Fedor Emelianenko, Cain Velasquez, Big Nog, Brandon Vera, Alistair Overeem. Like the list that he's beat is amazing, and he's still at 43 years old. He's entering the heavyweight tournament at PFL, so take a look. Look out for that. Fedor landed on my list at number 3, and the reason, and for the same reasons, I think he was great and everything, but I really do not think that he was better than Daniel Cormier or Stipe. So Daniel Cormier lands at my number 2, and Stipe is the best of all time in my eyes. Did we all know? So me and Mike had Stipe. Brad had Fedor. Yeah. And
it's a beautiful thing.
If Stipe fought Fedor in his prime, I think Fedor would beat Stipe.
Right. Did you notice who didn't land in my top 5? Mr. Brad Kelly, did you notice who did not land in my top 5? Kane. Yeah, dude, Kane.
Not mine either.
Yeah, you know what it was? It's just inactivity for me. It's inactivity, and I understand it's injuries and everything, but you know what? Everybody has injuries, and it sucks. And but I'm also the same guy that would be like, hey, Larry Bird was like the greatest basketball player of all time, because it was only because of his back injuries that he didn't get to show it off. And then I'm the same guy that'll be like, yeah.
Larry was one of the best, though, man. He was pretty good.
His career got shut down early for back injury, same as Kane. But then what I don't get is that Cain Velasquez has to hang up his MMA gloves due to injuries, and then you see him in pro wrestling tights doing backflips and hurricane ranas and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was some high impact acrobatic stuff that Kane's doing with some supposed really bad bet. But you know, I don't know.
I think it was because Daniel Cormier and him are best friends, and they didn't want to fight each other. I think that's what it is.
And you know what? That circles back to me having Daniel at number 2 and Stipe at number 1. If Kane did not exist in that heavyweight division, Daniel Cormier would have fucking retired undefeated and been the greatest heavyweight of all time. I don't think he would have ever. He was so good. And I think his body and his career took a real hard hit when he was cutting down to 205.
Right.
And even taking all that time down at 205, the only guy that could beat him was freaking John, was the greatest of all time.
Right. The best. Who was also doing extracurriculars.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the best of all time on juice. So,
juice.
You know, hey.
And blow.
And blow. That's what I'm saying. Hey, that's not bad. You did all right.
Right there. A recipe for disaster.
I see. That's why I love this, because it's all subjective and it's fun to talk about. But the thing is like, these are top 5 out of God, hundreds, thousands of fighters. I mean, geez, these guys deserve some serious credit.
Who is y'all's all-time MMA fighter? Any weight class? Any weight class.
Well, if I have to be honest and it pops in my head automatically, George St. Pierre, I guess. If I have to think about it quick, he's the first name that popped up in my head. I'd say George St. Pierre, because I just he's so awesome. He's good everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
But if I had to think about it a little longer, of like who I really like, you know, I don't know. I had to get back to you on that one.
And it pains me to say it, but I really don't think anybody's better than John Jones.
He's the best.
John Jones is he's
the best, or your favorite?
No. He's not my favorite fighter. No.
Just your favorite MMA fighter.
Oh, that's what you're asking? Who's my favorite of all time? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. See, that's where it gets weird with me. Like, I loved Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler was like my favorite guy for a long time. I loved Chris Lieben. Chris Lieben was like, and maybe it's because I just love those brawler type guys that will go in there and go into a dogfight and fucking fight until they're dead. So
Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, it's like guys like yes, guys like that. Frankie Edgar. I don't know. It would, for me to compile that list of favorites, you know,
Frankie Edgar's my top.
It's hard.
Just because he's a comeback kid, man. That dude, I seen Gray Manuel like knock him across the cage, and he still got back up and knocked him out. You know,
you know,
Tom's
who's right?
Rivers own.
Tom's Rivers, Tom's River. You know what? I may have stopped in a place called Delilah's Den in Tom's River. That was quite the experience. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Just gonna throw that out there. And if you're ever down there speaking with Frankie, swing by there. You might have a good time. Yeah. Max Holloway's up there with me. I love Max.
Yeah.
Good striking.
Yeah.
Even Dustin Poirier is growing on me too. At first I didn't like him, but now, ever since after the first Conor fight, after that, and actually it might have been after he lost to Michael Johnson. After that, I don't know. I started taking a liking to him.
Yeah, he caught a fire. But talking about Robbie Lawler though, man, like when he fought Roy McDonald, like every time I explain to somebody how I want to fight, like that's the kind of fight that I want. Like I want that bloody, both of us bloody dog fight. You know, that's my fighting style. That's my dream fight, is for both of us to be bloody like that, and still just finish the fight and walk people, walk each other down.
You know what? So this is probably, what year was that? 2014 when he fought Rory McDonald. So I was NCOIC. I was running the transportation for OCS, and so all the truck drivers and everybody was working for me. I had like 27, 30 people working for me that 2 weeks. And that fight landed in the middle weekend. So I was like, hey guys, I'm going down to the bar. Do you guys watch UFC? You guys like MMA? And nobody really watched it. And I was like, you know who Conor McGregor is? They're like, yeah, we know who Conor McGregor is. Of course you do. Well, he's fighting in the main event tonight against Chad Mendes. but there's a lot of good fights on the card. I think you guys should come down there. You might become fans. That card was probably the best card of all time. Like, it's one of the best cards of all time. There was the Jeremy Stevens versus what the hell was the fucking dude's name? He's got a brother, Bermudez, not Manny Bermudez. Dennis Bermudez versus Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens does like a jump knee and knocks him out against the ring. Then Gunnar Nelson finishes off Brandon Thatch, and then
that was fucking too.
Yes, and then Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler put on the best fight of all time that night. And the 14 soldiers that were there with me that night, that were just there to have some beers and watch the fights with, Sergeant Mish, they were standing screaming at the TVs. And by the end of the night, they were like, the next day at breakfast, they were all like, thank you for inviting us. That was fucking unbelievable. And then Connor came out with the Sinead O'Connor music, and Chad Mendez had fucking the dude from Stain playing, Aaron Lewis. Yeah, Aaron Lewis. It was just like one hell of a show. It was just a great show. And that's why I love Robbie Lawler. Like you said, that fight is the epitome of what you want to be as a fighter right there.
Exactly. That's why yes. I hope I don't ever have that. That looked kind of painful. I did. It took a while to heal up.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. You know what I wanted to say when we were going through this list? Randy Couture. Did you guys know he was a sergeant in the Army? He was in the Army 82 to 88. I didn't know that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
GM is set up like a military base.
Mm-hmm. He So I don't read much, believe it or not. I don't know if you guys thought I'm a big reader, but so my wife tries to get me to read books as often as she possibly can. And the only ones she can get me to read are like autobiography type books about people like him. And she bought me the Natural. It's called The Natural, and it's about Randy Couture, and it's about his life. And I did know about that. So very awesome dude. Yeah. All right, fellas. So we shot the shit about the greatest of all times. We had some fun tonight. I wanted to thank you for coming on tonight, Mr. Brad Kelly. We ran through some problems at the beginning, but at this time, I'll let you shout out any sponsors or anything you want to do, and then we'll get out of here for the evening.
First and foremost, of course, Audra with Alpha Evolution. She's my go-to on everything. She takes care of everything for me. Breaking Baits, they're one of my biggest sponsors. Graham's MMA, Eric Graham, he's my head coach, and Lewis Screen Printing. They do a lot of sponsors for me and everything. So I got to give a shout out to them. I don't have that many, but I'm working on it. That's all of them.
Oh, well, Joe Elmore. Hey,
Joe Elmore, man, like running off like this.
He's got the Star Wars friggin' thing going by forever.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me a little studio like that too when I make it big.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Brad. We'll catch up down the road. Hopefully we see you in Miami, I'm thinking.
Man, Miami, if not, they mentioned July 26th back in Biloxi. I'm tired of fighting in Mississippi, man. I'm good enough to travel.
But you will if you have to, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Sure.
Like right after me and Nate told me, he was like, hey, man, we're going to be going to Biloxi July 26th. I was just like, okay, I lost, so I get it. I got to stay at home, But it is what it is. I'll get out of Mississippi one day.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you very much for coming on. Thanks for battling through the technical difficulties we had a little earlier tonight. And you were an awesome guest. We will catch up down the road.
Sure, man. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, brother.
See ya. All right, Mike. We made it through another one. We made it through another one. It is.
Hey, I'm still here, I think. If I'm still live, Kyle's just went off the reservation. So if I'm still live, I'm going to take over the show. It's going to be called The Mike Show. That's very, very creative of me. I never saw this happen before, but if you guys are still watching,
hey, Mike.
Hey, Yeah, I can hear you. You disappeared. I kept talking like it was my show. I took over. I call it the mic show now.
Can you see me
Welcome to my
though?
show.
I have no screen, right?
Nah, your screen's out. So let's call it a night.
All right, my man. Let's call it a night. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I know this one went a little long. We had a little technical difficulties. You can't even see me right now, but I'm flipping you all off as I speak. I'm just joking. I would never do that. I love you all. And tune in tomorrow night. We got Tyler El Tornado Good John at 9 o'clock, followed by Britton Hart 4.0 at 9:30. And we'll have some fun tomorrow night, as we always do. Take it easy.